Hello, world, and welcome to Creating Light with Kelsey. I have some juicy stuff for you today because holy fucking shit, I just re-listened to my Akashic Record reading that I received from my soul sister, Bree, back in May of 2021. A lot has changed since then, and a lot of the shit that was mentioned in that reading is currently playing out in real time. I'm absolutely mind blown, and I want to share this reading from 2021 because I will be getting another reading from Bree soon. So I thought might as well share the OG so my listeners have a backstory and can understand what the fuck is going on when the new one comes out. Getting another reading was not on my radar, but recently Bree brought to my awareness to get another Akashic Record reading since my name change is fully landing in the 3D. She said that changing my name affects the records in a way that allows for more access that wasn't there before because I am operating at a different frequency. I have greater awareness and further trauma has been cleared. The door is open to receive more information, open to continue receiving a life of alignment. I'm totally fucking curious as to what the reading would be for Kelsey Morgan. So stay tuned for that in the upcoming months. But what are the Akashic Records? Personally, I don't know too much about them. When I bring Bree back on to the podcast, I'll have her explain it more in depth. What I do know is that they are ethereal records like a library, and they hold information from all souls, all beings, all lifetimes, all experiences existing in the past, present, and future. Just a giant information keeper. The information available when getting a reading can provide clarity, guidance, and healing on current issues that you may be facing. For me, I know that it provided major healing to learn what was mine from this life and what was passed down to me from other lives or other generations from my current bloodline. And the records are protected by light beings and cannot be easily accessed. When a person like Bree is presented with the honor as a human to answer the calling, to tap into the ability to access the records for other people, it is a gift. It is a responsibility that is not taken lightly. A tiny backstory. When I received this first Akashic Record reading in May of 2021, I was still living with my now ex-husband. At that point in time, I had communicated that I think we should separate. I can't remember if it was already a mutual agreement that we needed to be divorced instead. I knew in my mind I had already decided to divorce him, but I also knew in order for this to play out in the fastest timeline, I had to let him think it was his idea, that he was the one to control and initiate the divorce. If anything, shortly after this, so I can't remember like where exactly I was at in that moment in time of May as far as like the divorce situation. If anything, shortly after this reading, I know he came to me saying he wanted a divorce if that wasn't already decided. So just keep that nugget of information in mind. When I was getting my Akashic Record reading, I was living in the guest bedroom, still existing in trauma, but also actively creating a life of freedom. I knew that reality was real. I just had to be patient. In May of 2021, a week after this reading, shit hit the fan. My ex and I were still married, just newly separated, but he took my credit card, took my wedding rings, and came to me saying that we're now separating bank accounts. I just started a business, wasn't getting paid yet, and he left me with $1,000 to live off of, and then a week after that, handed me a bill with the split cost of living for the month of May. I just looked at him and I was like, no, I am not giving you any money after I just let you have all of our money when separating bank accounts. That was the reality I was existing in, that was in the midst of completely crumbling when I was getting my Akashic Record reading. That was only a year and a half ago, because when this episode releases, it'll be like October. So October of 2022. Life is wild. I'll go into more detail of explaining that time of my life in the Underworld series, because that was year 7. So stay tuned for that story. At the end of the episode, I will let you know where you can find Bree to book a reading. Also, this recording will be on YouTube. I still have the video from it, so you can visually see me and Bree talking with each other during the whole reading. And near the end of the reading, I'm discussing a drawing that I created. So when viewing the episode on YouTube, you'll be able to visually see what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, and okay, one last thing. Yes, Bree and I are very close friends, but when this reading happened, we had only known each other for maybe 6 months. Felt like that was important to mention. Okay, now here is the reading, the Akashic Record reading from Bree.
So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to open the records. And I have to say like this whole opening prayer, so just bear with me for a minute. If I get quiet, I'm still doing it. I'm not like just in a weird mode. And then after that, we'll start with your questions. So I have to use your current legal name.
Okay.
How do you want me to access the records for that? Because what it is your name gives off a certain vibration, and the records
I
are
would do the
associated
full
with that.
name, like with my middle name, too.
Okay.
So like Kelsey Morgan Halterman.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. And so we do acknowledge the forces of light, asking for guidance, direction, and courage to know the truth as it is revealed for our highest good and the highest good of everyone connected to us. O Holy Spirit of God, help me to know Kelsey in the light of the Akashic Records, to see Kelsey through the eyes of the Lords of the Records. Enable me to share the wisdom and compassion that the masters, teachers, and loved ones of Kelsey have for her. The records are now open. Okay. Also, yes or no questions are like not a thing, because it's never going to be like, you do this, you don't do this. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's more of like a guidance to a certain point, or having you look at things differently, rather than like, should I quit my job? Yes. That kind of thing. Yeah. I was like, damn, okay. Okay. So it's been a long road to get to where you're at right now. You've had to fight tooth and nail sometimes, and it can be really exhausting, but just know it's there's all for a higher purpose. It's all for a reason. And in the moment, you may not know like what the fuck is actually going on right now and why is all of this happening, but just like hindsight is 2020, you'll always be able to look back and say like that right there led me here. And as long as you're staying connected and staying true to who you are and what you want, the path will always reveal itself, whether it makes fucking sense or not. It's always just going to be like, this is what I should do, and I don't know why, but I'm going to do it anyways. So you have found yourself in positions to make a leap of faith multiple times, not sure what was on the other side of it, but you did it. And it's gotten you to this exact point right here. I'm seeing like a grandfather clock, like a really tall clock. Mm-hmm. It's in a corner of a room. And it's almost like the time feels like it's ticking really slowly, like it's dragging on. But it's all just a perception of everything. Does the clock mean anything to you?
Not the clock itself, but just when you said the word grandfather, I was like, huh, interesting.
Okay.
And then, I mean, definitely with the time ticking slow, but it's a perception, because that's kind of how I've been feeling in this current lesson.
It's a good way to phrase it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there one thing that you have been, like one specific question you've been asking the universe recently?
Not specifically, but the question that like comes back up to mind, like one of the ones that I've been asking, is kind of just the root of the unsafety. And more so because I feel like, and like, what is mine and what isn't? Because I know some of the unsafety is mine, but I also feel like, or I know it's like a generational thing too, but I don't really know where all it comes from.
let me ask you this then. Can we go back into your past lives?
Yes.
Okay.
I've never done that before, but
Okay. So,
I talked about that today with Emma too,
did you?
about past lives. Yeah.
Okay, so immediately I'm seeing a 3 or a 4. So we're going 3 or 4 generation lives back.
Okay.
Um, More on the 4 side. Um, he's coming through very strong. So you were a man in that life. There were a lot of things that happened to him that felt like they were out of his control. And so it was like the ground was really wobbly,
Mm.
always. And so when he had kids, he passed that on. Like the world is not a safe place to be because you will never be taken care of. You'll never have your needs met. People will never look out for you. And so by kind of solidifying that in his being and in their DNA is what perpetuated that for this life.
Mm.
And so it's almost like a manifestation from when you were young of showing you like, no, people aren't going to take care of you. The world is not going to protect you, and the world is not a nice place. But it's not from this life. None of that baggage is from this life. That's all from that life with him. He was caught in the depths of where he was at and couldn't get out of it and couldn't see the good that was there and chose to always continue to focus on the bad.
Yeah, and like choosing the suffering.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, three back. Um, you're a lot older this time, like a really gray haired lady. Um, what was that show, Mama's House, where the mom had like the short curly hair and the glasses, and her son lived with her, and she wore those floral dresses?
I don't think I've heard of Mama's House.
Okay, I might be getting the name wrong, but that's exactly what I'm seeing right now. Is like this little old lady with like these bright floral dresses. Um, so her feelings of unsafety were in a relationship because she felt like her needs weren't met because she was not meeting her needs.
Mm.
So someone else was always being put before her by her own choice, not because it was like, I have to be first, or like sometimes in a relationship, one person is more demanding. It was her being um, selfless. There is a balance, right? Making sure you're taking care of and taking care of others. But when you're not full, you're just giving and giving and giving. Especially if someone's going to continue to take from you. And that's the dynamic that you had in multiple relationships in that life. People were all too quick to take from you. And so you never saw it as your needs being met. And again, someone watching out for you, the world taking care of you, because it's always about other people. So in that life, she got younger, and there was sexual abuse from the father, which perpetuated the cycle of giving, because that's what it was. Give me your body, give me your safety, give me you at
Mm-hmm.
such a young age. When she died, it was all still in her, the resentment, the anger, the not being safe in her body, in her home, in her relationships. So you're a mirror for so many people. And you can't see them yet, but they can see you. Like what I'm seeing is you looking out through one side and it being like a blank mirror, but them looking in this way and seeing you standing there in all your light, in all your glory, and in all of your power. You're getting there. You've built the foundation, and you know that, like, that foundation is so strong. And now it's just a matter of putting the Legos one on top of each other. How far out do you want to go? Do you want to go forward? Do you want to branch out to something behind you? Or do you want to just fucking go up as high as you possibly can? The choice is yours. But it's all available as an option because you have done so much work to heal so many other lines, whether it be the current generation that you're attached to or previous lives that you also had that generation, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
word that keeps coming to mind is spider web. So it's like starting with you, and it just fucking is spider webbing everywhere because you're doing the deep shit And so you're getting a lot of not necessarily progress, because progress is progress either way, um, but reach, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have another question?
I was just thinking about those past lives. I feel so it's interesting that you said that that was the past life, and but I feel like those two things that you said I had directly experienced in this life too.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I mean, because it what so that does that mean like that was mine or that was just in me and it manifested, I guess, or
I would say both,
both.
because lessons tend to come up lifetime after lifetime until we learn and work through them and stop them, which is what is happening in this life,
Yeah.
right? So it's yours in the sense that it manifested in this life for you to break through, but it's not yours because it also was passed down generationally through the other lives. So like when the guy 4 times ago, when he had a kid, he also passed that on, right? So everyone took that on as their own, but it's his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just got like hit with a wave of emotion because with my dad now, I can't imagine him ever doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just interesting to hear that that had happened in a past life where it was a father. So that's really interesting because I just, this time, I had actually felt really safe with my dad in this life.
Mm-hmm. It I get the feeling that that was very purposeful for you to feel so safe with him, so it could afford you the opportunity to stop it.
Yeah.
Because had you actually been in a similar situation, who knows what could have happened,
Mm-hmm.
right? So the whole goal is, before you got here, you were like, fuck this. Enough is a fuck enough. We're not doing this anymore. It's gonna fucking stop with me. Yes, it's gonna manifest early, but like, dad, we're fucking doing the damn thing. Right. So, like, you handpicked all of them, everyone around you, everyone agreed to this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it was, I'm going to be your rock. I'm going to be your safe haven. I'm going to be your safe harbor. Because one, you are not alone. Two, you are protected, right? And three, you're right. This does have to stop, and we are all going to stop this together. And your
So I,
dad needed to be exactly who he is.
yeah, because I felt like growing up, he was the one that, like, we didn't talk like about a bunch of stuff or like anything super emotional, but like I could just tell him things
Mm-hmm.
and it was okay. And I never felt like shame from him.
Yeah.
Um, but the protection there is for sure. And it's like manifested just currently with my relationships that like I just had I never was protected.
Think about, now that you have had the conversations that you've had and you are at this point in your life, um, think about how the people around you are now afforded the opportunity, because you have been so open with them, to now protect you and aid in that protection for you moving forward.
Yeah, because a few people that I've told absolutely everything trauma wise, I do feel they're like that strong support now.
Yeah, it's almost like bringing out the mama bear kind of thing. It's like, oh no, oh no, 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 that, nope, you know. Um, and you soul contracted to do all of that, to play out perfectly the way that it is, so that you can stop it and you can break everything, because you are strong enough and you are powerful enough to write a different story. And that's exactly what you're doing. And so, trajectory wise, because we still, at the end of the day, you know can be in the ethers before we're born, soul contract to do all of these things and learn these lessons, but we get here, we forget, we still have free will.
Mm-hmm.
So you still make choices. And so, the path could have gone either direction, but because your convictions were so strong, you made sure that no matter what, it was still going to happen.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. And I've been kind of realizing that lately, um, because my parents did try so hard to have kids and they weren't having anything. And then they had three miscarriages. And then all of a sudden, my soul finally was like, okay, we're going to do this. Like, breaking, I guess we'll come down into this family and like just break everything and not allow this shit to continue.
Yeah. Like they need a serious shakeup in the most beautiful way. And you are the gentlest soul to do that for them and with them.
Yeah, I've felt like I've come to realize that. I think just more and more recently,
Mm-hmm.
like actually understanding how deep it runs. And it literally feels like I'm the only one in the family on both sides doing it.
I mean, you might be, but as you know, as you continue down the path and um, you lead by example,
Mm-hmm.
and people are going to follow because they're going to like what they see and they're going to want not what not want in a way where they're taking from you or like energy vampiring from you, but want in a way that they're going to emulate you for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's the shit that she's doing. Better hop on that fucking train, right? It must be working. She's glowing. She's happy. She's abundant. Like, she's successful. She's traveling. She's free. How the fuck do I get that too?
Mm-hmm.
And it can feel isolating and lonely. But again, back to the mirror. Your people see you. So you're not ever actually alone.
Yeah.
Is the beach like a family significance or something? Like, does it hold a deeper meaning than just kind of being at peace there by the water?
I don't know about a family significance, but it's definitely for me it's home. Like it's somewhere that I knew I always needed to be.
Okay.
So it wasn't just
So,
about like moving to Florida because it's nice and warm in the beach. It was like, no, like I fucking need this.
yeah, it's good for your soul.
Yeah.
It's really good for your soul. Even though like waves are loud and powerful, there's a certain ease and gentleness to it.
Hmm.
And the creation that, like, water keeps hitting a rock enough and now there's a waterfall and an opening. Um, Store that nugget away. I'm not sure why that's going to be important, but just keep on to that.
Yeah.
um, Interesting enough, I jumped forward.
Huh.
So we're like, not like another future life, but like this one still. And I see you walking on the beach and you essentially look light as air. And it's I've never seen an East Coast beach, but it's an East Coast beach for sure. Because I know they look different.
Yeah.
Um, but someone's calling your name and you just turn and you're just lit up. You're so happy, and it's ease, and it's that feeling that people get on vacation, like no worries, nothing matters, we're super leisurely, but that's your actual daily life.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of laughter and a lot of love. So again, doing the continuous work. I mean, you're already there, right? Because time isn't real and it's all simultaneous. But it's there.
That's definitely like me walking on the beach and knowing it's also East Coast or Florida or whatever those future timelines that I've hopped on in the moon circles
Mm-hmm.
on, your bliss or abundance or where you're wanting to be. Like I always just like hop to like walking on the beach
Mm.
of like and like what you had just described and just chilling and walking and like that is my reality. Like that's my daily life.
Yeah. All of it, the ease, the flow, the grace, the gentleness, the happiness, the bliss, the abundance, all of it. Like you just bask in it and you just glow. And that, I think that is what, so twofold, what people try, because I'm seeing this, right? Like trying to grab at something. So twofold is people are going to grasp to have what you have, but be aware of those that grab and hang on.
Mm.
If that makes sense, because they see your light and they're not ready to let go. So your boundaries are going to have to be like very, rigid is not the word, but it's the best word coming to mind right now, strong, because obviously they will shift as you change and you grow and you evolve. But for you, you need to make sure like this is what it is. They're very clear, they're very clear cut. And that comes into speaking out and using your voice, which you're getting more comfortable with and you're growing into. And it's only going to get easier the more that you do it. So, like the mask stuff, walking somewhere and being afraid of the day you met the girl at the restaurant and you walked in by yourself and sat there not wearing a mask, right? So, even small, imperceptible changes like that are just more building blocks. And some things may seem super inconsequential, but they're not. But I don't want to be like, everything matters, because that's a lot. It's overwhelming.
Yeah.
But just, it's like your words create. Just be aware of your actions, not controlling, but just bring an awareness to them.
Okay.
Okay. So, like a fucking massive fucking poster, like on the side of billboards in Times Square, those just massive billboards.
Yeah.
I just see Creating Light with Kelsey, and I see your podcast cover.
Oh my God.
And it's like I'm laughing because it's like such a playful thing.
Yeah.
And
but they don't even know.
yeah. Yeah. And so it's your people found you. So you said something about Paraguay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to say that. There's a tie there for you. And also stop me at any point if I'm going too fast, because I know I'm jumping around a little bit.
I'm a manjin. You're good.
Okay. There's a tie there, and I feel like it's ancestral.
Huh.
Because I'm seeing like an archaeologist, right? Like it's old as fuck.
Yeah.
And just because it's ancestral doesn't need to be this life ancestry.
Yeah.
So take a look there. Not necessarily like go there and take a look, but kind of sit with that and see what comes up. Because there's a reason that was the first. There's a reason for that. Something's like tugging at you. Yeah.
Yeah. Something that weird, because I looked at it and I've looked at the downloads because I can see it on my feed. How many times it's had downloads in different countries. It's not very many, but it's weird that it popped up that saying it was like the top 15 in mental health in that country. I was like, what?
I need more information.
Yeah. Like, what does that mean? How?
Yeah. So it feels almost like when a dog is trying, like if you're wearing a long dress or like a long coat and a dog's trying to grab onto you and it's just like pulling and it's annoying, but you can ignore it. That's what this feels like. But it's like, fuck you. You're not going to ignore it anymore. Pay attention. So I'm interested to see what you learn from that, because I think that'll be really interesting.
So I thought, okay, I'm pretty sure there's one woman in the ALE, and I think she did subscribe to my podcast channel, and she lives in Paraguay.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm not going to say here because we're recording, but like I know her name, like I know who she is, and I think like she's the woman that lives in that country.
And I know that that woman commented on the thing when I shared my podcast, and she's like, I subscribed.
Interesting then that it went billboard and then Paraguay, right? So like your billboard of your
Mm-hmm.
podcast. So it's almost, it's like, here's the billboard, here's Paraguay in the situation, in the session that we talked about them.
Uh-huh.
And then here's your post about the creating light, and here's her comment.
Huh.
Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Okay. I feel like I should leave it at that, but that's, yeah.
Like you're saying, like she could be linked to it as far as.
I'm not 100% sure, but I would explore why she came to your mind,
Uh-huh.
why you specifically remember her commenting on your podcast thing, and the way that I talked about it. So I talked about the billboard first, and then I brought up the country.
Yeah.
So I would, yeah, think about that, because that's not an accident.
Yeah.
I'm like convinced nothing's a fucking accident anymore.
No,
It's
it's
all
not.
so perfect. Do you have any other questions? Anything you want to know specifically?
Just money comes to mind.
Okay. It's raining men, but like it's not men, it's money. Oh, yeah, it's all of the all of the feelings that you are moving towards and moving into, freedom, flexibility, ease, all of that. It's like tug of war, right? But it's coming at you so fucking fast that you can't stop it
Mm-hmm.
in the best way possible. And so it's almost like you're on both ends of this rope, and it's you now and who you're going to be, and your ego and what the world has told you you're capable of,
Mm.
telling you like, nope, too much, that's too much, that's too much grace, that's too much ease, that's too much abundance, and you're like, the fuck it is, and you're pulling it back.
Yeah.
And you're gonna win the competition, like that, like you know that. And it and I say competition like it's an actual competition, but it's like you versus you, right? Be patient, give yourself some grace. There's a learning curve when you're doing things you've never done before.
Yeah.
And so as you wake up and remember more and more and more, it's going to get easier and easier and easier. And it's going to be as simple as breathing.
Yeah, because I just feel like the money mindset just hasn't been there
Mm-hmm.
for just as a model, like in growing up and then adult life and the people that have been in my adult life, like just current and surroundings just have kept not being that example of abundance, you know?
Mm-hmm. So see how this feels. Start with things that aren't money. Water in the ocean, sand on the beach. I think there's a lot of trees in Florida, right? So laughter, love. Start with the tangible and the intangible. Um, if you start with the tangible, like you pick up sand and it's just going to fall, and it's like, wow, this is abundance. And then you move to the intangible, love, happiness, and then move to money.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be seamless because you will have started with things you can see, and you're going to trust the things that you can't see and know that they're there, and then apply that to money. But what I'm seeing is you know those pictures where it's like a head and you could see through the whole thing and it's like different pieces are lit up different colors?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like rewiring the brain
Yeah.
because you're so used to seeing a certain story play out. That is not from this life. That is, your parents brought that in from their other lives because you're like the gatekeeper, like, no, fuck this.
Yeah.
on all fronts. And so maybe there's a course, maybe there's a meditation, maybe there's something that you journal on and look inside and are able to kind of like, is there a movie where they like pull out the DNA strand and the helix and they pull some, oh, Tron, when the girls pass out on the thing. Have you seen that movie?
No, I haven't.
So she's passed out. It's the neutron, by the way, not the old one, but she's passed out on the train and they like take her, like it's like a disc out of her back and it pops up and they just turn it around and they can see where the problem is. And they pull out the problem, they pick out the problem and they put it back. And then they like close and put her disc back.
Yeah. Homegirl needs that.
So I feel like I see you relearning it on your own, not like completely on your own, but not having to invest thousands and thousands of dollars into having somebody teach you how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're at this desk and you're journaling. It's in the stomach, something with the stomach. So you already know how to fix that and what to do. Just trust yourself. Totally trust yourself. But I would definitely say as like a guided thing, start with like the sand and, you know, clothes or food or, you know, and it could be 5 things and just stare at it and like, this is pure fucking abundance. This is pure abundance. Like Shelby was sitting in her backyard the other day and was like, this is abundance.
Yeah.
You know, it's in so many more things rather than just money. So when you get comfortable accepting those things, again, it's raining money.
Yeah. Raining money.
I keep hearing the song on repeat and she's singing It's Raining Money.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Receive.
Yeah, I didn't realize how hard that was. And then when you said that the 4 generations ago that person like was never protected and had to take care of everyone or something like that, then I was like, well, that's where it would make it difficult to receive.
Yep. Always putting yourself last, like you're at the bottom of the totem pole. That ties into a worth thing, not feeling like you're worthy and deserving of all of the magic and all of the abundance and all of the beauty. And again, you with your fucking gatekeeper shit. No. So I don't know if sometimes it feels like you're exhausted, like, fuck, how much more do I have to do? Fuck, I haven't done enough. I haven't come as far as I wanted to. The work that you're doing is so needed for yourself and for the planet. And it's intense. And you're not going to stop. I know you're not going to stop. And even if it's not an option for you, but even if someone was like, here, stop, here's this, you wouldn't take it because you see what's on the other side.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it can be overwhelming, scary, all of that. And it's not even like on the other side, but it kind of is, right? Because it's like, who's this person? It feels like I have to climb this mountain, which you've put there yourself. But once you get to the other side of the mountain, it's, yeah, magic.
Yeah. Freaking reality right there. You actually put this mountain here.
Yeah, I think we all do a little bit of that. So,
yeah. So I've been met with like, when you're talking about that as like the gatekeeper and no, and was kept getting met with the memory of with my grandma on my mom's side that I was visiting them one time up in northern Illinois and then someone walked into the McDonald's and they looked at me and they're like, you've got to be so and so's kid. But I'm not from there, but they knew it because I looked so much like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, oh my gosh, I bet you're just like her. And then my grandma was like, no, 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 no. Kelsey is her own person. And I was like 8 years old.
Wow.
And I remember that like clear as day. She's like, no, Kelsey is her own person. She's not like anybody else.
She protected you.
Yeah.
She protected you, your identity, and your sovereignty. And you held on to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I'm thinking of the grandfather clock again, and I'm just thinking of, and then you'd said in a past life, with a father had sexually abused me, and it was, I had a, during that Camp 30 thing, they did a like ancestral like tune-in moment, and it was just really quick, and it was kind of, and they just said to like look to your um, right, so the masculine, and look at your father's father, and I just started like bawling, and all I could hear was the forgotten fathers.
Okay.
Like I don't know anything else. And what's interesting is like in real life, I don't know anything really about my dad's side and the men. It is like they're forgotten. So then you said the grandfather clock, and I was like, immediately I was like, oh shit, what is that? And then just with the father, abusive father, I'm like, whoa, that's really weird. Like that was a different life.
Sit with the father thing. I'm not seeing necessarily too much about that, but definitely sit with that. Because I think there's something there. I just I'm not sure. It feels like it could be heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
what I had immediately experienced, but like I have no idea what it even, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, just I mean, you can handle whatever you set out to find, right? And if you look, you're going to find something.
Yeah.
Just be cognizant of the fact that it feels very, very heavy.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things, whatever it is, that needs to be brought to light.
Yeah, because you can, but it's out of balance if you heal one side, right? The feminine and not the masculine. And so in order for you to get the whole yin yang, looking at both sides, because both sides have made you who you are and
that's so
contributed to that.
true. Like I've just been so focused on, even just growing up, we only like hung out with the mom side. So I only really know the mom side. And then through my own healing journey, I've just been focusing on feminine or mother wounds, or like what's happening generationally within my mom's side, because that's all I know.
Yeah. Well, it's easy for us to get caught up in that because we are women. And so it, to the logical mind, might make sense. Like, I'm a woman, I have to heal the women's parts of me. But also, too, it's like we all have masculine and feminine inside of us, and both pieces made us.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's important. Now I'm like, fuck.
The good thing is, it does not all have to get done at the same time.
Yeah.
Baby steps, leaps, bounds, however you want to handle it and however you want to go about exploring it. Dip your toe in and not go back for years. However you feel called to do the things is how you should approach them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but like, let the weight go.
Yeah, I'm like feeling it in my heart right now. I'm like,
yeah, right here.
Yes. It's like, girl, you don't even fucking know what you're about to get into if you do that. But it's like, it's needed.
Yeah.
Because it's just been hidden from me for way too long. So I'm like, what's been trying to like hide and sweep under the rug? Because that's actually not fixing anything. I'm over here like, let's get in there.
What do you got behind the curtain? It's like Oz when it's like supposed to be like this great and powerful man. And they fucking rip the curtain open and it's like this little guy with like a big microphone,
Yeah.
you know? So it could feel heavy. Maybe it could feel heavy for them. And that's why they've suppressed it. But you really
Yeah.
get behind the curtain and it's just like this cute little man with like a microphone.
Yeah, true that. Yeah.
How do you feel about the color emerald green?
Really like that color.
It's a good color for you.
Yeah.
It's that and like a dark blue. Those are good colors for you.
Why?
I just keep seeing it every time I go back to the you walking on the beach, it's everything is that blue. All
Mm.
of it. The water, you're wearing white, but there's a house that's blue. All of it is just blue. And then the green just keeps coming in flashes. And so it's like they're kind of earthy tones to keep you grounded, but the green is rich and it's abundant, right? It has nothing to do with the money, but like the deepness of the color.
Mm.
And the blue is still kind of airy. So it's like you're planted in the ground in this rich, abundant way, but you're also in the clouds and like free, like to roam.
Oh my gosh. That like literally describes my 6'3" profile in human design.
What?
Like literally. Because they said you were born with this, your personality is great contrast, as in you're this really responsible, rooted person, but then you're also this free spirit, and you're meant to be both.
Mm-hmm.
And if you fall into one more than the other, or try to like fit the mold of being super responsible, or saying like, fuck it, like, fuck society, I'm out, and like, I'm not gonna do any of this. Like, that's not true. Like, I get to be both. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not meant to be one or the other, or like whatever.
That's wild because I don't know like too much about human. Is that the manifesting generators and the
Mm-hmm.
generators and stuff like that? So
Yeah.
I know like the I know there's 4 categories. Couldn't tell you what the other 2 are. But that's literally the extent that I know about that. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And apparently 6'3", there's 12 different profiles a person can have, or I mean, 12 different out there, and then 6'3" is like the rarest for a person to have.
Yeah, because you're like that, like a North Star.
Mm.
That's the best way I can explain it. Not many people are a true North Star, and it's like a full circle, right? You start here, people hear your podcast, they see what you have to offer, they do your group therapy, you bring them back home to themselves,
Yeah.
and that's a North Star. It takes you on the path that's going to lead you home.
That feels good.
Mm-hmm. Does your heart feel lighter?
It feels a little lighter, but it's still like I don't know what it is. Like something's lingering though too.
Okay, so let's do this. You want to meditate?
Yeah.
Okay, close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, you're going to take 3 deep breaths in and 3 deep breaths out in your own time. I want you to imagine that a beam of white light is coming down from above into your crown, filling every inch, every cell, every membrane, every DNA strand, every organ, every blood cell in your body, from your feet to your shins, to your hips, to your stomach, up your arms, your chest, your back, and your head. Imagine yourself in a cocoon of white light. Now I want you to imagine there is a purple fire to the right of you. Small, manageable, just there. You can feel a little bit of its warmth, but it's safe. I want you to grab the weight from your chest area, your heart, and pull it out. Feel it come out. See it above your aura. Throw it into the fire. Feel it disappear, disintegrate. Know that the energetic space that has been left is filled up with the white light you filled your body with. It is okay to release it. It is okay to let it go. It is okay to fill it with love that is not yours to carry. Take 3 more deep breaths and open your eyes when you're ready.
I gotta show you this fucking drawing because this is what just happened just now.
Okay, let's see it.
Oh my god. My mind is blown.
Close
I can't.
the records while you do that.
Okay.
I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view, and I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen. The records are now closed. Amen.
Okay, Sin.
Wow. Wow.
I drew that a year and a half ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I have no words.
The body's green.
And the clouds are blue.
And then Anya just fucking said
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna be green. I didn't even think of that until just now. I was just thinking green, heart, like, and then you said
Yeah.
that too, dude.
Holy shit, Kelsey.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh.
I mean, a part of me knew I was holding on to a bunch of stuff, obviously, even a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
A year and a half ago is when I had started my thesis. So that's when I literally, like, 100% not an option, not stopping. We're in it now.
Yeah.
And that's when I had started it. And that's when I had drew this.
My mind is fucking blown. Wow. I don't know why I'm surprised with you, though. Like, of course that is.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't stop looking at it now.
Does it feel like it has a new meaning?
Yeah, because when I drew it, it was just an assignment for class and it was meaningless.
Mm-hmm.
I just like did it for a discussion board assignment just to do it. And I did it real quick and I was like, this is fucking bullshit. Blah, 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 and then submitted it. Like there was no conscious thought behind this. I just did it to get an assignment done.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then in it the course was over addiction, so it was kind of like the assignment was dealing with the trauma or letting go. So that's where I was just like, let's just pull this shit out and like
give it back.
Yeah. Like, thank you, but we're done.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you left it open.
Yeah. Yeah, like what if I would have the option to put it back into me.
Mm-hmm. Or fill it with something else that's dark.
Yeah.
But you filled it with light, so it's fine.
That's the choice, though. That's the free will.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one is born innately evil. But as things happen, it does ultimately become a choice.
Mm-hmm. We always have a choice.
We always have a choice. And I just look at this and I don't know if you can see it. You'll probably see it now and not be able to unsee it, but there's like a face underneath the thing in the scribbles. Do you see it?
So I've actually...
And it's in the third eye of the face. So there's like... So the broken thingy is in the center of the head, and then underneath it you see the 2 eyes and the mouth, and then like a circle around making the head.
Yep. I'm really drawn to the top of it where the scribbles meet the clouds. Because it looks like they're like you inadvertently drew letters in there.
Oh, what letters are you seeing?
I definitely see an A, right, a lowercase a right in the middle.
Oh, yeah. An A?
Does that mean something?
I mean,
Oh, yep.
yeah.
Holy fuck. It's like you're giving it back to him, Kelsey.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't want this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, you put this all onto me and it's not mine.
Mm-hmm. So my airy hands are going to give it back to you.
Yeah, like, woo. And it's like, look, it's like DNA strand.
Uh-huh. The helix that comes out of the body for you to pluck and fix.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when you were saying that, giving that visualization. And it was like I had to keep doing it. Like it wasn't just a one-time thing. Like I had to keep pulling it out.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled it out and then there was more. And I had to do it again. And I had to do it again.
Did you get it all out?
Looking back, I'm like just getting remember it now. This feels different. I think it's just like, yeah, it's not the same.
Okay.
I think what I'm feeling now, I'm like, just it's like a clicking.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm feeling in my heart. So that's a different thing. Everything's clicking.
Good. I'm so glad.
Thank you for listening to this real-time moment of healing for me back in 2021. Like I said, it's wild to listen to because so much of what was discussed in the reading is being unveiled in this now moment. It's all happening. I'm so excited to receive another reading from Bree very soon. She's incredibly gifted and very in tune with the astral realm. You can find her on Instagram at Bree, Bree _ soul to soul, SOUL to SOLE _ to DM her if you're interested in booking a reading. That is the best way to get in contact with her currently. Her business, Soul to Soul, is under construction and in the rebirthing process. So when that comes up from being underground, I will most definitely let you guys know and bring her on for an interview. But look at the show notes for easy access to the link to follow her on Instagram. And remember, when we see the light in ourselves, we create light in others. Pew, pew, pew. I'm on a fucking roll. Okay, that's done. Bye, friends.